Hi, guys, and welcome back to my podcast. This is your host, Betty. And, well, today I'm gonna be talking to you guys, about my usual weekly thing while I'm getting ready. I gotta do the multitasking thing. Why? Well, this has a lot to do with our topic today. I was just looking at some memes on social media about how gifted children became adults who cannot finish anything. And it just literally resonated with me so much. I felt personally attacked by Ray Jr. George. No, not really. But it kind of gave me an insight in as to why we grew up to be the way we are, which I always wanted to know, to be honest. I want to know, why can I just stick with something? Why can I just do one thing at a time? Why do I have to try to do here and there and never finish anything? Okay, well, I was what they called a gifted child. I was very smart. When I was younger, I'm not saying I'm not smart anymore, but I was, all A's and B's. If I got a C, I would cry. Things like that. So I was a gifted child all the way through high school. And, well, kind of middle school, and then high school, there was more gifted people than me. So I was a little bit, that's when I started developing different social skills, where I was always hanging out with different groups of people, different types of people. I hung out with the people that like rock bands. I hung out with the people that like electro music. I hung out with the people that, were the nice guys and whatever. And I hung out with bad boys, and I hung out with, all kinds of people. I didn't discriminate anybody for anything unless they were like me. Then that's when I would. But usually there wasn't a lot of mean people in the groups that I was in school with. Usually you go with the same people throughout either elementary or not really. It's more middle school and high school. You usually have the same classmates for those years that you're in those two sections. At least that's how it is in Mexico. I don't know how it is here, but that gives you kind of a bond of, you're bonding with this people for 3 years, and if you go to the next step and then you happen to be with them again, and it's 6 years, and so you get to bond a lot with the same people. So you'll, start kind of knowing each other, knowing what they like, knowing how they are, how they behave and everything. Which is, it's a nice thing. I think that's something that should be encouraged more here in the US, because I feel if we all had a group of friends, not just a group of people, we all have groups of people, right? But if we had one big group that can always bond about, all their classes and whatever, I think that maybe it would be a little bit better, maybe less bullying, maybe more, friendships, maybe more protection. I don't know. That's just my takeaway on that. But so basically, what are the traits of a gifted child? Well, gifted children usually have good sense of humor. They have curiosity. They're curious people. They have emotional sensitivity, memory retention. I don't know about that one on me, because well, maybe I think my memory retention started getting bad when I was in high school, but probably my mind was somewhere else, so who knows. Also, advanced language skills. Like I said, I speak 2 languages. I sometimes might not be very good on the pronunciation or the structure of the sentences, but I know two languages, and when I only knew Spanish and I had to take a placement test for English, I was already more advanced than other people. Like, I didn't have to start from the beginning. So that meant I already knew something, just watching Friends all the time and Gilmore Girls when I was growing up. I guess that helped. And quick learning too. I'm a quick learner. If I have to learn something, I will. If it's something that I'm interested in, I'm a quick learner. So those are kind of traits that a lot of gifted children have. So what are the social expectations and pressures that this type of people have? Well, they have asynchronous development, which means that, for example, they might think at a higher level than their age, but their social skills are at their age level, which that can lead to some anxiety and fears, because their brain is higher than, their brain smartness capacity is not as much as their social skills. So it's just it creates a lot of anxiety and fear. Another thing is perfectionism. Don't we suffer from that? That is why a lot of people have OCD too. But that's not the topic here. Perfectionism. If we were a gifted child, as an adult, now I am a person that I get very fixated by details. I'm very detail oriented, but that doesn't mean it's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. But in cases I focus too much in the details and I'm too critic of myself. Everything has to be perfect. So, that actually leads to unrealistic standards, which, if we don't meet them, could lead to depression or stress because we're trying to be perfect, but we can't. But we're so used to it that growing up, sorry, we start, trying to have that same level, but we can't. We cannot do it anymore because life is not just a subject, or it's not just biology, math, and geography and whatever. Life, it's so many things. Another thing that could affect gifted children is bullying. I could say that I was definitely bullied. Not there's no good bullying, right? But it wasn't where people would hit me or throw me, or I wasn't emotionally wounded. Well, maybe I was a little bit. There was just girls that were oh my god, they were so pretty. They had boobs when they were 11 and they were la creme de la creme. And here I am, this little stick of nothing, wearing glasses and a ponytail and my hair all slicked back and looking like nothing. Big eyebrows, no makeup. Obviously, I didn't actually start wearing makeup until I was 18. So, and they were all so pretty, and I was just smart. So I was always doing my stuff, and I had friends that, at least in elementary and middle school, I had friends that were a little bit more like me, more into the smartness and the school stuff, and people that I can rely on when, you have to get group projects, or, if you need help with something, you need somebody that is as responsible as you are, because you don't want to end up having to carry everything in the group, which can happen when you join a group of friends that are more laid back, And it's not that they want you to do the whole work or they want you to do everything, but you start taking over it because you just need that perfectionism, right? So people would bully you in cases that, well, they would bully me the pretty girls would be like, oh, she's not as pretty. And I could like definitely hear them saying things like, oh, they would just come and talk to me and try to be friendly so they could so I could help them with their homework or a copy of me or whatever. And then when they left, they'll be like, oh my gosh, she was so dumb. I can't believe like she thinks we're like friends or something. And it's, it's just one of those things. I really didn't care back then. I was like, whatever, I'm not gonna die. I'm not gonna go home and cry about it. Honestly, I was never the one to do that unless somebody actually did something to me. Like, words were just words. If they're words that are out in the air, I don't care. But if they're like literally just being said to me in a mean way or in a way that hurts me, then yes, I would cry. But that was not the case then. I didn't, after that, like I said, when I went to high school, in middle school, I was, I had some friends, some different type of friends too. And so by then I developed different social skills. And then by high school, I had all types of friends, like laid back, smart, the ones that didn't want to do anything, the ones that wanted to do everything. So I had like so many to grasp from that I didn't have to suffer from this bullying thing, except the one time that had nothing to do with me being gifted. There was this guy who sent a bunch of girls to hit me. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, a freaking little piece of nothing sent a bunch of girls to follow me after school. I was walking from the high school to my house by myself, and a bunch of girls just stopped in a car and got out and said, "Are you Betty?" And I said, "What do you need?" They're like, "Well, are you Betty?" And I'm like, "Yeah, but what do you need?" And they just kept like following me. And I was like super close, like 2 blocks from home. Good thing I had a cell phone by then. And they're like, "Well, somebody sent us here." They're like, "You gotta stop, like whatever." Like they just like said so many things. I was like in shock as to why all these girls, because only like 3 of them came out of the car. There was like 4 more in the car. And I'm like, are they trying to hit me or something? And they were trying to like provoke me to get into a fight, which I'm not one to provoke unless you hit me, which they didn't. I just like kept walking away. I literally just ignored them, kept walking away. And then I called my mom on the phone and I said, "Hey, I'm here near the house. I'm about to get there. But there's, like 7 girls that just got out of the car." And they're like, obviously, yeah, anybody would call their mom. It's 7 girls. And I'm a tiny person, I'm petite. And they were like tall and, thicker and bigger and like just simply taller. Like they were built. I was not built. I was a stick. So, I mean, I've never been built. So, that was like a thing. And then, when I found out, I was like, well, who would have sent them? I thought it was one of my neighbors that she was just, I don't know, there was always a bunch of people that were jealous because of the guy I was dating, because they wanted to date him, and then they would attack me like it's my fault that he didn't like them. So, girls can be pretty mean. But, in this case, I found out that they were friends with this guy that was in high school with me. He like tried to take advantage of me kind of thing, but not really. Like he wanted to go more than what I was willing to. And I said no, and no. And he kind of felt rejected. I don't think it was a rejection thing, more than my best friend had a crush on him. So this guy wanted to get with me. And I was like, no, I'm not going to do that because my best friend likes you. Like, I'm not going to do that. I know that he would never, ever maybe date her, but still, like, that's not the point, right? So he went and told my best friend that we had hooked up and that something had happened. And I was so mad. And my friend, she literally ever since, she, that's one of the bad things about girlfriends. Sometimes we fight over a guy that doesn't deserve 1 cent of her anything. So she was mad at me. She decided to stop speaking to me because she wouldn't believe me. She said that I was just trying to be deceitful and whatever. So this guy had told her because he knew that it would hurt me. Well, I stood in front of the whole class and I smacked him. I smacked him on the face. Literally in front of everyone in the classroom. So he deserved that for talking things that he had no right, and they were lies. It's just anything that we talked about, as friends, he took advantage of that, and he was trying to make me miserable. And I was like, what the hell is wrong with this dude? I'm just a girl. Live your life, bro. But obviously, he was ashamed that a girl had stood up to him in front of everyone else. Well, I'm always the girl that's gonna stood up in front of everyone else. I don't care. That guy, if he would have said it just whatever, I would have been like, whatever. I don't care. It's not true. But the fact that he convinced my best friend that was true and she believed him, I didn't know who would be more mad at her for believing him or her for believing him, or him for saying, well, obviously him, right? But it was also like a little rock in my shoe that I couldn't get out. That why would she believe him over me? Anyways, we got derailed in this thing. So yes, this guy sent all these girls. They were friends with the guy, and he sent them to follow me and try to get me to fight or whatever and give me a lesson, whatever. It didn't happen. They just scared me to death because I didn't know at the point what the hell did I do? I didn't even know who those girls were. I knew they were in my school because they were wearing the same uniform. That's it. But literally out of all of them, I've only seen 2 of them in school, and I didn't know who they were. I've seen them in school, but who the hell knows who they are? Anyways, so once we have early success and high expectations, this can impact our lives in a positive way. We become more resilient. We learn about thinking and learning. No, we start being more adapt to thinking and learning. Just thinking and learning. We just keep thinking and learning because that's the thing we know how to do. But like I said, we end up setting unrealistic standards, which can lead to procrastination. Yes. That is what takes over us after being a gifted child, having all straight A's in elementary. We come to adulthood and we do procrastination. What is procrastination? Well, the act of delaying or putting off tasks until the last minute or past their deadline. So why gifted individuals struggle with completion of tasks? Well, because they often progress to the early years without being challenged. So they sometimes fail to develop the self-management skills that others can master. In this case, we were never challenged. We never had to struggle with, the thinking and school and whatever. So we never actually developed self-management skills that other people did. I was actually very good at that when I was in elementary and middle school. After that, I feel like high school, it was just all derail. But that's what happens, and that's when we are young adults-ish. And well, there's that, and then there's perfectionism and fear of failure. Like, we are perfectionists, and we believe that failure is fatal, and that mistakes reveal imperfections. So we set unrealistic expectations and get fixated on unnecessary details, which hinders our performance. So we are trying to be so perfect that we get derailed, we get distracted by little details that don't matter, and we cannot finish the thing because we are focused on something that we shouldn't be focused on. So we start delaying everything else, and it just starts going down, 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 snowball. You know how it works. So I did find this this word, this term called multipotentiality, which is a psychological and educational term that describes people who have multiple talents and interests and can excel in different areas. Well, that's good, right? Like, you can excel in different areas. Well, there are concerns with this. When people can excel in a numerous different type of things, they get overwhelmed by the number of things they can do in life and may have difficulty choosing a single career or sticking with it. I 100% agree with this, because this is how, until I saw this, I didn't know this is what it was, but now I know that it's hard. When you know how to do a lot of things, you want to do a lot of things. And that is why we end up finishing nothing, because we want to do it all. So we never finish anything. I'm so glad I graduated from college. But, oh my God, now it's just like, literally, I have so many notebooks with so many lists of so many things that I want to do, like pages I want to visit, like websites and projects, and list of to-dos around the house, cleaning and buying and shopping and organizing, and like, there's so many things I need to do that I cannot even begin to do one because I'm so overwhelmed. So this kind of thing leads to high stress levels, confusion, depression, overscheduling, and in some cases we may experience anxiety and guilt when we have to let go of something that, like, we wanted to clean the whole kitchen, but maybe there wasn't enough time to do the dishes. And when we don't do it, we feel like we fail. But we didn't fail, we can do it tomorrow. But that's not how we see it. We see it as like, no, I have to do it right now, or I'm failing. Which sucks, because it's so much pressure on us that we're giving ourselves, and people are like, well, nobody's making you to, or nobody's pressuring you to, or whatever. But they don't know the amount of pressure we put into ourselves, and we cannot just like let go of it. So when we do, sometimes we feel guilty or anxious or whatever. So how do we get over this? Not getting over. More is like, let's talk about some strategies for managing procrastination and task completion. Well, the first one will be setting goals and deadlines. It's important to set goals and deadlines for sure. That way we say, okay, this is the goal for today and this is my deadline. It has to be done by this time. That way we feel a little bit of pressure, a little bit of a challenge that, oh my God, that has to get done. It has to get done. There's no, oh, I have another week, or like I have forever to do it. No. Breaking down tasks as well. If you're doing something, try to like break it into smaller groups. If you're going to clean the kitchen, say, okay, first task will be, say, the oven. Okay, check. Okay, and then we do something else. Check. We do something else. Check. Like, we have to break big tasks into smaller tasks, because I know it seems like it's gonna overwhelm us to look at more, but that way we at least have a structure of what we want to accomplish. We need to have structure for sure. Prioritizing tasks, like I said, is basically the structure. We have to know what is a priority, like what needs to get done versus what can wait. And then that will help us, finish all our goals, the tasks, reduce distractions, very important. You need to be, try to like not have distractions, things that can derail you from like, oh, look at what I found, and then you end up deep somewhere else. Yes, it's happened to everyone, I know. When we're cleaning our rooms, oh my god, cleaning the closet and you get distracted by everything and you want to start trying it on and you never actually clean anything, that's the worst. That is the worst. So if you say, I'm gonna clean, I'm gonna clean. I won't do anything else besides that. I literally have to like say to myself, no, that can wait. It's taken years of training, but it works. Rewarding yourself, obviously, hey, if I do this, then I get to watch TV or something. I get to watch a movie, or I get to eat something, or I get to take a glass of wine, whatever floats your boat. And also, another thing that can help is finding an accountability partner, a friend, a coworker, a sibling, anybody that can hold us accountable for the things that we're supposed to be doing, so that it gets a little bit of pressure on us, and then we know that we have to do it and stop procrastinating. A lot of people don't like this because they're like, well, I don't have to answer to you. You're right. We're supposed to answer to ourselves. But ourselves are not pressuring ourselves. Like, we're just not putting the pressure that's needed. Sometimes we all need a little bit of pressure, but not to the point where we are breaking. Just, maybe a little reminder of like, hey, this needs to get done. Okay. I sometimes get upset when people tell me a few times that I have to do something, but sometimes I'm like, oh, I'm great that they said that, because I had already forgotten that I was supposed to do it. And, goods and bads and all. But, well, I hope you guys enjoy that episode that obviously, just like this episode, it got derailed a little bit in the middle. But I want you to think about your experiences and consider the diversity of paths success can take. Like, what have you done to get where you are? And think about everything that you've overcome, and if there's anything else you need help with, or, anything related to this, let me know. Tell me your stories. Tell me, what are you struggling with? Anything. I'm here for you guys, and I love you guys so much. So I'll see you on the next one. Bye.